All right, I wanted to hop on, make a quick video of how to do everything from your quiz review. Many of you have reached out kind of concerned and confused, and with this being the last quiz, some of you, if you get your grades up, we can have some better conversations about exams. So I'm going to jump right into this. If you get to a spot where you're confused or it doesn't make sense, please make sure you are reaching out. A lot of red dots on the Go formative. So hopefully this kind of answers any questions. So your quiz tomorrow is over congruence, but also isosceles and equilateral triangles. So we're going to start with congruence. And congruence just basically means match up the sides or angles and that are congruent. And that means they're also equal to each other, which will help you to solve some awesome algebra problems. So for number one, it says BCDE is congruent to OPQR. So DE, last two letters, is congruent to last two letters QR. That's it. For number two, it says, which of the following can you not conclude? So we're going to look for the pair that doesn't actually match up. So A is MN is congruent to PR. MN, first two, PR, first and last. Well, those don't match up, so that's actually your answer. And just to check it, MP, first, so that works. NO, middle, last. QR, middle, last. So middle, last. NQ, middle. So that's why that is the one, that's the pair that doesn't match up. Number three says angle ABC is congruent to, so A has three lines or three arcs. That's going to correspond to M. B has one arc. That's going to correspond to N. And then C has two arcs. So does P. So angle MNP. Number four. So these two triangles, the way that they're sitting, it says are congruent as suggested by their appearance. So that means you actually can trust this picture. Find the value of all the variables. So the variables are B, C, D, E, F, G. I think that's it. So basically you're just matching up the sides and figuring out what corresponds to what. So B is this side, which corresponds to this side. So B is 4. C is the bottom, so is 3. D is this angle, 38. E is in this corner. That little box means 90. F is right here. That's 52. And G is what's called the hypotenuse. We'll get to that in a couple of units. G is 5. All right, number 5. It says, given that triangle QRS is congruent to triangle TUV, and it says QS, so first and last, and TV, first and last, are this, find the links. So if they are congruent, that means they're equal. So you're going to set up a little algebra problem, set them equal to each other. So subtract 3V, 2 equals 4V minus 6, add 6, 8 equals 4V, divide by 4, and you get V to equal 2, which on Go formative, we did ask for that. Then you needed to find QS, and you needed to find TV. So to do that, you take that value and you plug her in. The good news is because both of those are equal, you actually only have to plug it in once. So I take the 2 and I plug it in. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So both of them are 8. And you can check it here too. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 minus 6 is also 8. All right, if any of that was confusing, pause it, rewind it, watch it again, reach out, all that good stuff. Let's keep going. Number 6. Given that the triangles are congruent, B is in the middle, Q is in the middle, so that means that they do correspond to each other, so that means they're equal. We need to set them equal, solve for V, and then we're going to have to find the angles by plugging it back in. So you're doing the same thing pretty much. Not pretty much, you are. So then you get 4 equals 5V minus 6, add 6, 5V equals 10, divide by 5, V equals 2. I'm sorry, 2. I said 2 and I wrote a 5. 2. Then you need to find the measure of angle B and the measure of angle Q, and you get that by plugging it in. Now, because both of these are the same, you only need to plug it in one spot. So you do 3 times 2 plus 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Both of them would be 10. All right. In a paper airplane, so this quadrilateral, that's a four-sided figure, is congruent to this quadrilateral, which again is a four-sided figure. Angle B and angle BCD, which remember the angle in the middle is really what we're talking about. So angle B and angle C are 90. So B and C are 90. Because B and C are 90, that means G and F are also 90. Then it says here that the measure of angle BAD, so angle A, is 131. Angle A corresponds to angle E. Find the measure of angle GHE. So angle H is ultimately what we need to find out. In the directions on Go Formative, it said that a quadrilateral's angles add up to 360. So in this four-sided figure right here, we have 1, 2, 3 angles given. We're just missing the fourth. So it's kind of like when you're given the triangles angles and you're given 2, but you're missing the third. You're going to do the same kind of thing, except for you're going to use 360 instead of 180. So we're going to go 90 plus 90 plus 131. Add them all together. 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 311. That's what these three add up to, but they need to add up to 360. So take 360 minus 311. Let's see, we got to borrow, going back to elementary school, doing old school math, and you get 49. So the angle is 49 degrees. Again, if that was confusing, rewind it. It's the best part about videos. Then we get into the isosceles and equilateral triangles, which is what we just did these. So here they want us to find the unknown angle measures. If I remember correctly, we found all three of these. So for number 1, we need to find this angle, and this angle on the inside of the triangle. So I notice here that I have an isosceles triangle. These two sides are congruent, which means these two angles are congruent. They give you that 125 to help you break into the isosceles triangle. Two angles that are right next to each other add up to 180. So if this angle is 125, I do 180 minus 125, and I get 55 degrees. So this angle right here is 55, and then this angle is also 55 over there. Then to figure out angle K, your vertex, you have 2 out of the 3. So you're going to add them together. So 55 plus 55. And then subtract that from 180. And you find that that angle is 70 degrees. I know I did that kind of fast, so you might need to rewind that. Number 2 is kind of tricky. I think it's probably the hardest problem on the whole entire worksheet. Number 2, this again is isosceles. Across from the congruent sides, these are your congruent angles. Now, there's no numbers given. So that's where you have to kind of be careful and think about how you're going to find these missing angles. You're going to have to solve for x first. So if this is 3x minus 2 and this has the same marking, that means this angle is also 3x minus 2. So this is also 3x minus 2. Now, I don't know any degree measures, but I do know that all of these angles add up to 180. So it's going to be junky. It's going to be a long problem, but you're going to need to add them all together and set it equal to 180. So you're going to take 9x plus 4 plus 3x minus 2 plus 3x minus 2. So 9x plus 4 plus 3x minus 2 plus 3x minus 2 equals 180. Then you're going to combine like terms. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15x. And then you have 4 minus 2 minus 2. They cancel each other out, which is kind of nice. So 15x equals 180. And then you're going to divide both sides by 15. and you get x to equal, let's see, 15 goes into 18 once with 3 left over, 12. Then that's what x equals. Sadly, that's not really what they want. They want you to find angle R, angle S, and angle T. And you're going to find angle R, angle S, and angle T by plugging that 12 in. So I'm actually going to find angle S and T first. 3 times 12 is 36. 36 minus 2 is 34. So this is 34, and this is 34 because they're the same. Then you're going to take 9 times 12 plus 4, and you get 112 for angle R. So I hope that wasn't super confusing. I know that's kind of weird, but you've got to definitely might need to rewind that one. Number 3 is another isosceles triangle. Here are the congruent angles, which means these are my congruent sides. This one wants you to find the length of all of the sides. So if this has a side length of 10, we know that this AC has a length of 10. But in order to find AB, I need to figure out what X is. So I do that by using this side right here. Take 3x plus 4 and set that equal to 10. Subtract 4, 3x equals 6, divide by 3, and you get x to equal 2. Then you just have to plug it in. 2 plus 3 is 5. So almost the same exact idea for this one. Here are your congruent angles, which means these are your congruent sides. If this has a length of 29, this has a length of 29, you need to solve for x in order to solve for or figure out the length of side xz. So take 4x plus 1, set it equal to 29, subtract 1, 4x equals 28, divide by 4, x equals 7. Now plug it in. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 minus 1 is 48. We didn't do any of these ones down here. We skipped to the back page. And if you missed this one problem on the back page that I had you do, I don't think I had you do that one. If you missed this problem on the back page, we've got a problem, you guys. Number 11 gives you this triangle. It is equilateral. It says, what is the measure of angle Jkl? Jkl is this angle right here. So if this is an equilateral triangle, all of the angles inside are the same. The angles is going to be 60 degrees. You don't need to explain it. It's totally fine. That was a little bit lengthier than I would have liked it to have been, but if this was confusing, please make sure you rewind it, watch it again. Tomorrow is your last test. And then for some of you, I'll be reaching out to chat about what we can do to get you to the grade that you would like, if it's possible. And some of you, we just need to get you to a point where we can earn credit. So I'll be in touch. Good luck on your quizzes, and I will be checking in with you over the weekend.